here.
Oh my, I know that voice.
Welcome back.
Uh,
Okay, we're on YouTube.
Awesome.
So, okay, well, let's get started then. It is 9 o'clock, and my name is Harlequin Murray, and I am your senior team leader, or one of your senior team leaders. And I get the honor and privilege of introducing our main speaker. But first off, for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. We're excited to have you. And for those of you coming back after a length of time, we're glad you're back. But anyways, just a little bit about Ellen for those of you who don't know her. She is, like I said, one of our senior team leaders, and we're super excited to hear from her this evening. But her background, she grew up in Dallas, Georgia, on her family's farm and still lives on that property today. But she worked in the restaurant industry for many years, ended up working her way up in the Domino's Pizza company, was overseeing most of the stores in the state of Georgia, as well as in charge of doing training. But then she decided, you know what, I've had enough of corporate life and decided I'm going to go and have my own pizza restaurant. So she created her own restaurant, had a couple of locations, and ended up being very successful with that, but deciding to get out of that industry. But she is still a business owner today. She owns a limousine company and an insurance agency besides her DAC business. But she also has a lot of network marketing experience, having worked with several different companies. When I met her over 20 years ago, she was the national training director for a company. But anyways, she's got a lot of experience as a business owner, as a networker, as a trainer, and now we get to go and hear from her and have her train us. So anyways, without further ado, Miss Ellen, go ahead and take it away.
Awesome. Thanks, Harlequin. I appreciate it. Appreciate you showing up every week to support me and your team with these Zooms. I couldn't do it without you, so I really appreciate that. Appreciate the warm introduction every week as well. Welcome, everyone. If this is the first time that you've joined us on Monday night, we do these Zooms simply to give you an opportunity to get your questions answered. DAC Corporate does Zooms Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Friday during the day, but we realize a lot of folks can't jump on those because of a daytime job or other commitment. So we do this evening Zoom, giving you an opportunity to get your questions answered. I've been with DAC for 7 years. I've personally sponsored Harlequin. She's been with DAC for 6 years. So everybody on this call is in my team. Not everyone is in Harlequin's team, but a lot of you are on Harlequin's team, but everybody's in my group, and you are getting my email. So I do that long distance support and that big net of support to help each and every one of you. If you're working directly with your enroller, continue doing that. I'm not trying to step in between you and your enroller. I'm just adding an extra layer of support and experience and knowledge. So I'm super excited about where we are today and what's going on. I want to go into our slides, and then I'm going to cover some information. And I know many of you probably have questions about the new compensation plan that just launched, went live last Friday. And we're starting to see and hear a lot of positive feedback on that. I'm hearing people coming back involved, getting re-engaged in DAC that have kind of fallen to the wayside. Life got in the way, took them off on something else, but they're going, hey, I hear some excitement going on over at DAC. So what's happening? So let me get us into screen share mode and I'll get us kicked off there. By the way, Harlequin's talking about my restaurant days. Whew, man, I'm so glad those days are behind me now. I wouldn't go back and do that again if I had to, but I had over 30 years in the restaurant space. So those of you that are in hospitality, I'm still in hospitality with my limousine business. You know what I'm talking about when you talk about that daily grind that's required, and you're always at someone else's beck and call when you're in the service industry. So glad to be on the other side of that, having time freedom. And the ability to choose my path to success. So, as a DAC broker, most people get started and they say, okay, I'm going to get my feet wet. I'm going to try this and be a solo broker for a while. Some folks, like me, decided on day one that I was going to go out and recruit a team, which I started on day one. When I saw the presentation, I also invited another friend that to watch it right after I first saw it. He got started, and by the end of my first 30 days, I had about 300 people on my team. Now, I tell you that not to be bragging, but to encourage you to get out here and start sharing the news about the DAC broker opportunity. It's incredible. You can enroll other agents. They too can enroll other agents. And if that's the case, then you can be an agency builder and have a nationwide team like I do. I've had over 17,000 agents enroll through my team here with DAC. And that's just a drop in the bucket to where we're going to be years down the road from now. So let's get into what I want to cover tonight. First, I want to congratulate our top recruiters for the week of 7/28 through 8/3. That's last Monday through Sunday. Ben Randalls is back after it again. Ben had 15 new brokers enrolled. Congratulations to Ben. I came in second place with 6 new brokers enrolled, and in third place again on the leaderboard, DAC Funding Solutions. Pamela Warnock had 2 new brokers enrolled. So to be named on the top recruiter list, you had to have at least 2 new broker enrollments for the week. Otherwise, we just say congratulations for having a new broker get started. If you're not on the list tonight and you had a broker start, or you were talking to people and you've invited people to take a look at the opportunity, congratulations to you, because it's just a matter of time before your name will be on the top of the list, as long as you don't give up and quit. Now, something I started last week, I got a better looking slide this week for you, and that is a huge congratulations to brokers who just got started last week. Now, I want to clarify, because last week when I went through this, I had people saying, yeah, we had so-and-so start, we had so-and-so start. First off, congratulations to everyone who has already gone through broker certification. If you're on here tonight and you've been with DAC for more than a week, go get certified, because these folks on this list right now are brokers who enrolled last week. They got started as a new agent, new broker, from July the 28th through 8/3. In the last 7 days, they got started and they've already completed certification. So congratulations for taking this seriously to Lincoln Babula, Marcus Wilcox, Michael Jones, Rehabilitation Vacation LLC, Rosencrantz Property Solutions LLC, Daniel Voy, Myra White, Ibrahim Singilva, sorry if I'm destroying your name, and Christopher Reed. Congratulations to all you guys. Now, again, if you've been here for a little while, go get yourself certified. We're going to talk about the compensation plan in a minute, and you're going to see and realize that if you don't go through certification, you're just considered a referral broker or a referral partner. And that means that you're going to earn 25% of the commission that you would earn if you would go get certified. 25% of the 100% that you earn, right? Or just 10% of the bonus revenue. So get yourself certified. Also, I want to say a huge congratulations to Ben Randalls. Ben was the #1 recruiter for this week. And when I look at this list, the majority of these people came in through Ben. So not only is he a top recruiter, but he's also doing a fabulous job getting people pointed in the right direction to go get certified. So love to see that. And all of you that are recruiting, let's get after it, making sure we're following up with new people and helping them get off on the right foot going through the certification. So let's talk about the updates. We just had a great email come out today. The Funders Fuel August 4th, talking about the comp plan being live. It's broken down in great detail. Okay, I'm not going to go through it line by line like I did last week, but just know that we've got multiple ways to earn money. You get personal commissions, you can climb the ladder, and once you get there, you stay there. I'll talk about this for just a second, because if you've been around a while, we were all earning 40% of the bonus revenue as our base commission. Okay. And that has not changed. That is there. But the way the old plan worked, when you got a funding client, a new funding that was a qualified client of 6,000 or more in bonus revenue, it did what we call amped up. And for the next 30 days, you went from 40% to 60% of the bonus revenue for your personal commissions. But after 30 days, if you didn't get another new client, then you drop back down to 40%. So here's something that's really huge on this. You climb the ladder and stay there. So as you climb the ladder based on your personal production, personal clients, and staying qualified, then you get to that point in the comp plan and you don't go any lower. You get up to 60%, you'll never drop below 60%. Again, I just said, used to, you had to get a new funding every 30 days to get there. Now it's a lifetime achievement. So it's accumulation of your bonus revenue from all the clients that you've had from day one moving forward to help you climb that ladder and stay there. So you can actually get qualified all the way up to 80% and be earning 80% on all of your new clients and all of your renewals and every funding client that comes through, simply by producing and hitting that 80% level. And then you'll stay there as long as you keep that 1,000 in rolling bonus revenue, which is really going to be a simple number to hit. So super, super stoked about that on the personal commissions. David really saw the need to reward the customer getter, that client getter who's going and getting the funding themselves, and then paying out the rest of the money to the team. The next part of the compensation is, there's the ladder, an example in the email. So you go find that email in the compensation sheet. I'll show you where to find that as well. And then we've got our override spreads. This is where you can earn on your team. So you're going to earn whatever your qualification level is on that tier. You're going to earn that, and whatever's been paid out in your team, you're going to earn the difference on that. Okay. Again, you got to be qualified. You got to be certified. Certified means you go through the LMS training and you get your certification certificate as a certified broker. Okay. It's a training section, about 3 hours of your time to become certified. The next piece of this is becoming qualified. What is qualified? Well, there's two ways to be qualified. Either you're brand new and you're in your first 30 days, or you're past your first 30 days and you have 1,000 or more in personal bonus revenue in the last 6 months. And that's all 6 months combined together. It's a rolling 6 months, and that recalculates every single day. So you may have had a funding 5 months and 15 days ago, and in 2 weeks, that 5 months, 15 days ago funding is going to fall off of your numbers. So you got to make sure that you've got something new in the funnel. It can be new fundings, it can be payment processing clients, it can be healthcare clients. All of those count towards your bonus revenue. I personally have a large number of clients on healthcare that they reoccur every single month. I have ID Protect clients that reoccur every single month, and I have payment processing clients that reoccur every single month. All of that combined goes towards my $1,000 in personal bonus revenue, and I've got it done in less than 2 months without having to go get a single new client, simply because those are residual and they're repeat customers that show up month after month. Okay. Next thing is on that simple spread. Again, that's in the email. That's the second way you get paid. The third way you get paid is our 5-level agency pay, where you earn on your team level by level. Wait, before I move on to that, I want to cover one more thing, real important. Not only are we getting way more money on our personal customers, but that override spread goes to infinity. There is no stop. There is no bottom to your team on how deep you can get paid in your organization. So you may have someone 25 levels deep in your group, And as long as the total spread between what they earn and what you're qualified to earn has not already been paid out to somebody between you in those 20 levels, then you can still earn an override on what someone that deep in your organization has done. So it's a great incentive for us to get out there and really climb that ladder by doing personal production, finding new clients, increasing our personal bonus revenue so that it takes us up to that new tier in the compensation plan. All right, the third way to get paid, the 5-level pay. Now, this is replacing what we used to call our residual income, okay? It really is a residual basis here. It gets paid once a month on the 15th of the month. But excuse me, and it allows you to get paid on 5 compressed levels in your organization, but you have to qualify for those levels, okay? You're always going to earn on your personally enrolled brokers. You're going to earn 4% of the BR. Now, those of you that remember our compensation plan and what I used to have at the bottom of the email that said earn a 10% match on your personally enrolled agent's income, okay? Well, 4% of the bonus revenue is the exact same number. So if somebody had a $10,000 bonus revenue qualification, 10,000 in bonus revenue, the enroller or the person that got that client would get 40% of that, which is $4,000, right? And you used to get a 10% match of that, which is $400. Well, if you do the math, 4% of the 10,000 in bonus revenue is $400. So it's the exact same thing as that 10% enroller match that was the verbiage that we used on the old compensation plan, but we've just changed the verbiage. So everything we're talking about now is bonus revenue. We don't have bonus revenue and residual revenue and earning match on compensation pay. We're all getting paid off of the bonus revenue that's generated by the clients that our team and we personally produce. Okay, so just creating a common language there that's easier for the average person to understand. So you always earn that 4% on your personally enrolled brokers as long as you're certified. Okay, you got to be certified. You don't have to be qualified. You don't have to have 1,000 in personal bonus revenue to earn on your personally enrolled brokers, but you do have to get certified, go through that 3-hour training, and you do have to make sure you renew your position and recertify every year if you want to keep earning off of your personally enrolled brokers. Okay, to get to level 2 and get paid on your second generation in your team, you'll earn 2% of the bonus revenue from what they do and their personally enrolled brokers. But to get to level 2, you need 3 frontline qualified certified brokers. Okay, how do you get qualified? Let's go back up here. I want to point something out here and give you guys a hint and a little tip. So let me go back here. Remember, certified plus qualified. Qualified is either you're in your first 30 days or you have 1,000 or more in personal bonus revenue. So I was pointing out that Ben Randall's he recruited 15 people last week. Okay. And out of those 15, 6 or 7 of them have already gotten certified. So pay close attention to what I'm about to say. To get paid on level 2, you need 3 qualified certified brokers. So those brand new brokers that just started for Ben, they got certified already and they're in their first 30 days. So that means that Ben is already qualified for level 2 because he has 3 or more qualified certified brokers that don't have a client yet, but because they're in their first 30 days, they count towards his 3 qualified certified brokers. Okay. Now, after their 30 days rolls along, he's either going to have more new certified brokers getting started, or those people in his team are going to have clients and working towards that 1,000 plus enrolling bonus revenue. All right, to get to level 3 and earn 2% on the bonus revenue of what they produce, you need 6 qualified certified brokers. So back to Ben again. I think Ben had 6 people that got certified last week. So he's qualified for level 3 because he's recruiting new people that are going through the certification process. So that's my big tip. And I hope that's a light bulb moment for you as you're looking at this compensation and going, wow, that's a lot to have 6 qualified certified brokers or 10 qualified certified brokers or 20 qualified certified brokers. If you're doing what I always encourage you to do, which is sharing the opportunity, and you're bringing new people on, and those new people are plugging into the system and going through the certification, it's real easy to start getting qualified for level 2 and level 3 in your team. Okay, so that's the big tip that I wanted to, a takeaway that I wanted you to have on the 5-level pay. And then our fourth way we get paid is the NMO leadership overrides. This is where you get paid for building leaders who also build leaders in their team. So as an NMO, you have to have 3,000 in bonus revenue, which is $3 million in total funding. Okay. And I'm sorry, it's 300,000. And you have to have 20 personal clients. Okay. That makes you an NMO. And as a national marketing organization leader, you are now earning the difference between 80% and everything that everybody gets paid in your team. But if you bring in someone else and they get to your same level, there is a 2-generation override on that. So you can get paid on another NMO and another NMO. And everything that gets produced in their team on a monthly basis, the total bonus revenue. And there's an example of it there in that email. Okay, so that's what I wanted to touch on. Again, this is in your email. Go check your inbox. David did some great examples in this. It came out today, Funders Fuel, August 4th, Comp Plan Live. Now, let's talk about where you find the training. So I'm going to go over and get us logged into our back office. Let's go. I'm just on davidallencapital.com, and I'm going to do broker login. And I'm going to go log into a training page that I have created. I'm going to stop share for 1 second here just to be on the safe side. Get logged into a training screen. All right, I'm on the right page. Go back to screen share. All right, and I am in. You guys see that screen? You see that screen, Harlequin? The back office? Yes? Harlequin, can you see that screen? Can you nod for me? I'm not hearing you. Hang on a second.
Sorry. Had to unmute myself. No, I don't see your screen at all.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
Yeah.
Let's try one more time. It did not pick it up. There we go. Okay, now you can see my screen. Okay, so I just logged into the DAC back office through the footer of the main website. The questions that I get most are about the LMS. Okay, let's go through that one real quick. So how do you get certified? You simply log into your back office, you go over to the training LMS, and once you click on that link from the back office, you're going to do start learning. Okay. Now this is probably going to log me in because of cookies on my browser. But what you do here is when this screen opens up, and I don't know why it's so slow, it's going to ask you to log in. Okay. In fact, I'm not even going to go there. It's going to ask you to log in, and it's going to have a little box. It'll ask for your username and or email address. That is not what you enter. Make a note to get into the LMS. You have to use your agent ID number, and the login for the LMS is a different password than what you used for your back office. So if you've not already set up the LMS account and you've not already created a password, you want to log in, go over and then click on forgot password or lost password, and then do the reset function. Again, you'll need your agent ID number, but it'll send you an email. I walked through this with someone on the phone today. It went just lightning fast. Just enter forgot email, enter your ID number, and it'll send you an email real quick where you can go in, reset a password, or in this case, you're creating a password, and then you can go get logged into the LMS and start the certification. A few things you need to know about LMS. It's going to take you about 3 hours total, but you don't have to do it all in one sitting. Just get a notebook. You're going to need to take some really good notes because some of the test questions are not on the slides that David goes through. Some of the test questions are based on what he tells you in his overview of the slide. So you want to listen to everything that he says and take some really good notes, okay? And then when you do the quiz, you've got to pass it with 80% or better on all of the quizzes until you get to the very last one, the policies and procedures. That has to be 100% pass, 100% on it. So just know you can take one or two quizzes at a time and come back to it. I encourage you to go through all of it while it's fresh on your mind, but you can come back and complete where you left off. The first day I took it, I had to do it in 2 days because I just didn't have time to finish it up, but I was anxious to get into the material, okay? So that's the important thing you need to know about LMS. On the compensation plan, the documents, I want to show you where that is. You can go to Broker Resource Center here on the left side of the menu. It's going to open up on our onboarding, getting started page or business funding. But you want to go over here to the pay plan, which is at the top of the screen right here. When you click on pay plan, it's going to take you through this document, hit this little pop out arrow there, and it's going to open up in a full size document where you can print it, you can download it, save it. For those of you that, and I see he's already made another update today. This was launched on Friday and the version said 8.1 down here. It said 8.1.25. He did a couple of updates yesterday, and I see he's already updated it again. So 8.4 is the current version. If you don't have that version, then go back through and look and see what may have been updated. It may have been some misspelling. I know the updates that were done yesterday were some clarification on the verbiage so that it was easier to understand for new agents and those who haven't gone through all of the compensation videos yet. The other thing that you want to be aware of is the DAC YouTube channel. And here you're going to see that video. It's in the, let me go to live, pay plan enhancement launch. So go to the YouTube. It's David Allen Capital Broker, DAC Broker channel is the YouTube channel. And then if you go to live here, DAC pay plan enhancement launch, David goes through the whole compensation plan in great detail with Q&A. Okay. All right. So that's what I wanted.
Ellen, if I can, you can go to just dacyoutube.com is easier.
Yep. Yep. That's true. Thank you. I forgot that. All right. See, I know a whole lot more. I forget more than I already know because I've been doing this so long. All right. I'm going to take us off a screen share and open up, see if anybody's got any questions. I know I was just going through so much so fast for you. But Ray, as usual, is always a great participant on our Zooms, and Ray has a hand up. So, Ray, what do you have for us tonight? How you doing?
I'm doing good, Ellen. How are you doing?
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay, well, I wanted to mention, I know last week I mentioned about like as far as if you can print out the quizzes and everything. So last week I went to the library and I tried to highlight like the quiz, but for some reason, I don't know about anybody else, but for some reason when I highlighted everything, it wouldn't allow me to print. And I tried to copy it and then put it into a Word doc. It still didn't do anything. So I don't know if it might be something on my end, but I just wanted to bring that up. I know we talked about that in our last Zoom that we did last week. That was what I want to mention. And then another thing, I hope this is not an issue to bring up, but the call that I listened to with Wade when he was giving the samples of some of the deals that were closed, I wanted to know if you can use this example. Like, I know one of them was the for an example, the steel company, 800,000. So like if if this is okay to use, if the person, if they did, if the company was offered 800,000 based on like the comparison. What does the qualified broker get as opposed to the person that's non-certified? If
Yeah,
that's
well, okay, two parts on that. Thanks for that question. One, if how much is the funding? 100,000. It really depends on the bonus revenue. Okay, because we get paid off of bonus revenue, not specifically the funded amount. Because depending on whether it's a core or a flex rate product or a giggle product, the bonus revenue percentage is different off of the funded amount. Okay, but we always get paid the same percentage of the bonus revenue, no matter which funding product it was. Some of the funding products are going to pay more to DAC, so the bonus revenue value is higher on the dollar amount. Some of them they get paid less, so the bonus revenue is lower. But again, you always get paid the same percentage. 40% minimum if you're a certified broker. 40% minimum of the bonus revenue. If someone is not certified, then they're considered a referral partner and they're only going to earn 10% of the bonus revenue. Okay. So let's say, Ray, that you enrolled Billy and Billy gets started and Billy's out here talking it up and goes and finds a client, but Billy's not willing to take the time to go through the certification. Billy gets a client funded. He didn't get certified, so he's going to earn 10%. You, if you're qualified and you have one client and you've climbed that rung, actually, I'm sorry, that's not true. You've got the team override. If he's making 10%, you're going to make the difference between your 40% and the 10%. So you could make 30% of the bonus revenue just because you enrolled Billy and Billy didn't go get certified like he was supposed to. Okay. So that's how the comp is going to work on that. Now, another thing, you alluded to the example that Wade gave about this steel company. I thought you were going to say, is it okay for us to talk about that on social media? Absolutely, you can, but you can't do any compensation conversations on that. So you could say, my company just helped a steel company get $100,000 in working capital. If you need money to grow or expand, I'm your go-to person. Something like that. You can share that story and don't say that you did it because you weren't the agent that referred the client, but you can say my company or our company or we did this to help this particular business industry type get X amount of money. And if you know what they're using it for, you can share that in the testimonial too.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to make sure because I knew it was someone else's in that, and I just thought I just wanted to use it as an example of like, okay, how do you compare like the difference between a certified broker and someone who's not, and so I didn't want someone to feel like I was, taking their shine or anything like that.
Yeah. So again, if you're talking about compensation, don't do that on social media. You could do that on a one-on-one example, sitting down and talking with someone and say, hey, for example, we have an agent who just did a funding for this amount. Here's what the bonus revenue was. If you get certified, you get 40% of that. If you don't get certified, you get 10%. But we never want to talk about compensation or make any income claims when we're talking openly in public. So,
Oh yeah, absolutely. I understand
okay.
that. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks for the question.
You're
All right,
welcome.
Reese Carpenter, got a hand up. How you doing, buddy? It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It was one of those emails. I don't know if yours or David's. I looked into and it's sitting there because the last 2 years I spent building a blog network and over multiple websites, and I'm starting to gain some traction. And says, okay, what kind of services do I serve up as banners? I said, wait a minute. I just renewed my broker approval back in January, February. Going through the training today. I'm only about halfway through it, but a couple of things that David answered divulged in the training, and I thought everybody, it's brand new. And if somebody sees this video on YouTube later, this is probably as an affiliate the most important thing you got to remember. When David says make sure your ID or your broker agent name is on that link. Like, say, if you go to LinkedIn, Facebook, or any of these ad brokers, and you want to promote your replicated site, because 2 years ago I ran into a problem, and through David, I got a little upset because wait a minute, I got this many clicks and no notices from Bank Breezy. I said, there's somebody's got to be putting in applications. This training told me I did not have my proper link set up with the brokers. Whether, LinkedIn, they got to verify everything. It was a duplicate site. Or you go in an email list. There is more ad brokers out there than you can shake a stick at from reaching out to people with 30 million plus businesses out there. And I just saw in the training, I didn't do my link properly.
Awesome.
And
Well, I'm glad we can teach an old dog new tricks. I'm glad,
well,
that's working for you.
and I was looking back in my commission because I haven't looked at the website for months. And because I went inactive the summer of 2023 because I was busy building my blog. Then I went back there and some of these smaller accounts, these giggle accounts, this is funny. I had some renewals in there. I never even noticed them. So in the relevant account, I got money in there, not much, but now I'm going back active. I've actually got internet traffic that I can advertise on.
Awesome.
But for all those who are brand new, and please watch this because this is very important. That tracking link, if you're going down to LinkedIn, you're spinning a package to promote your website, your replicated website, don't mess up on that link. Because if somebody goes and applies and like say Giggle funding or major funding, and they and you don't have your link set up properly in the advertising, you're not going to get the notification from Bank Breezy that somebody applied.
That's right. You're not. In fact, now that you're talking about that, I want to do a real quick screen share to just explain what you're talking about. Good to hear from you, Reese. I appreciate that input and glad you're back in the game with us. I'm going to go to Christopher here in just a second, but let me do screen share and show y'all the importance of this, and so you can actually see it. When this page is my page, right? It has my name and my information at the top of the page. So it's my DAC site. It started out with my agent ID or my Ellen Winn at the end of the link. But once the page loads, when you hit enter and the web page opens and loads, my information is no longer in the browser up here. So if you're just copying this link here and going, oh, I'm on my website, if you copy that and send it out to someone, they're not going to have your web page because it has no unique identifier at the end of the page. This is basically the corporate page if you send the link like that. So what Reese is saying is make sure you enter either your username or your ID number to the end of that link before you highlight, right click, copy, and send. Okay. Thanks for pointing that out, Reese. Always good.
I just got one more thing to add. David also said, if like say somebody visits your site and let's say they landed from your LinkedIn promotion page and they say, I'll just go back to that later. So they go back there and they click on the link again. Just like David was saying, if they click somebody else's affiliate link, you lost a customer.
That's right. That because stays there unless they click on somebody else's DAC website. Yeah. So, yeah. Very good. So that means go find who those people are and follow up with them and follow up and be persistent and create a relationship with them.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Good to hear from you, Reese. All right. Let's go to
Ellen. Before you go on to that, it might be helpful to show them what happens whenever you, like if somebody types in a wrong number or something like that.
It's where it goes to no site.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to go back on screen share, but that's exactly what happens. Yes. I may do that in a minute. I want to move on here to Christopher real quick. But thanks for pointing that out, Harlequin. You're exactly right. Or if they go to what used to be an active agent's ID number and that agent has not renewed, it's going to come up no site, and it's going to show because you don't exist anymore. If you did not renew and you got canceled or didn't renew in time, then you no longer have an active web page. So let's go to Christopher. Christopher, you're already unmuted, right? How are you?
I'm doing all right. Can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Okay. Well, I want to say thank you for having me. This is my first meeting with you guys. Um, I came on the webinar Friday. Friday was my first day, and I joined right before the webinar. Maxine invited me, and then over the weekend I did the certification. Um, but I do have a question because I'm also a licensed insurance agent.
As am I. Yep.
Right. And I also do digital marketing. So, and I'm appointed, even though I'm in Florida, but I'm appointed in 18 states, and California is one of those states. Um, so is New York and Oregon. And I realized on the Giggle qualifications that the funds are not available over in those states. Now, with that being said, would the funds be available for the regular funding
Yes. Yes.
in
So
those states, in those
yes.
particular
So
states?
Oregon, California, New York, Giggle cannot operate there. And it's simply because of those states' laws. Okay. They don't allow Giggle to operate. So Giggle cannot fund there. So if you have someone who's operating out of a personal business account, I mean, a personal checking account in those three states, we're not going to have a funding solution. If you have someone living in those three states that has a business checking account, but they're doing less than 15,000 a month, we're not going to have a solution for them. But if you're dealing with businesses in those three states that are doing 15,000 or more operating out of a business checking account, then they absolutely can get funded through our partners over at Bank Breezy.
Because I do quite a bit of Aflac and Colonial Life as well too,
Okay.
which is B2B.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, and then also with my digital marketing company, I call upon businesses. And that's why I said that for me, this would be a slam dunk, you know,
Yeah, absolutely.
in the
Now, here's the
ballpark.
thing. For businesses to be doing 15,000 or more, if you're talking to retail locations that are renting in like a strip center or they're renting their space, most of those businesses are going to be doing more than 15,000 a month. And most of them are guaranteed to have a business checking account. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been able to get into the lease situation that they're in for their company. So as long as you're talking to those businesses that are doing 15,000 or more a month, then you're starting to fish in the right ponds. Uh,
Hmm.
your target is hitting businesses that are doing 50,000 or more a month, because then you're moving into those that, one, they're going to be easier to get qualified. They have a better understanding and working knowledge of how business works and what working capital is, and being able to determine if the cost of the funds is going to be worth it for them and they've got a good use for those funds. And again, they've got more experience, so you're not having to get into the minute details with someone wanting to borrow larger amounts of money that qualify for larger amounts of money versus someone that's an Uber driver or someone that's just barely making that $3,000 a month minimum. You want to stay away from those as your target market. I'm glad that we can help those people. I'm
Yeah.
glad that we can help them and have a solution for them. But those are the ones, those that are doing just a little bit of money, they're scraping by on every dollar that they have, and they're going to want to know the details on every piece of it. And then when they do get funded, you might make a $20 commission. So don't waste your time on
Yeah.
the lower revenue businesses. Stay in those 15,000, 50,000 or more per month
50,
revenue.
50 for me.
50,000 and up is really where you
Well,
want to be
well, I would
focused.
tell anybody that's on here,
Yeah.
since I do digital marketing, because I have my own business doing that and all that, I would tell anybody that if they're going to do something, because I'm not dealing with anything less than 50,000. I would definitely say fencing companies and landscaping companies. Because I've made a ton of sales doing those just with my digital marketing company, which is behind me. That's the name of it, behind me, quantumboostcrm.com. And um, I am now incorporating that in my business, because I call them for one thing, but I'm selling them two, three other items.
Yeah.
I'm
Perfect.
selling them the digital marketing. And then once I do the digital marketing, then I'll be going with the funding. I spoke to a gentleman today and he's definitely interested. And then once I do that, then I'm going to come back and do what we call, and this, key person insurance.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So that's going to be three in one.
Yeah. Or maybe employee insurance, if you're doing groups. So yeah, you got it going. That's what it takes. Get multiple things going. I never put all of my eggs in one basket. As Harlequin introduced me, I've got a limousine business, I've got my DAC agency, and I've got an insurance agency. So and I own some rental property. So I got multiple streams of income coming in.
Well, someone
I'm not
like
going to
me.
get shut down like COVID tried to shut me down when I just had my limo business. And I'm going,
Right.
oh, what just happened here? So I've
Well, yeah,
diversified.
someone like me, because I'm a retired police officer for 31 years
Awesome.
with Miami-Dade. And then I also own 54 homes in Miami-Dade. And then I also stay in Brazil and here in Florida. So, and I'll be
Yeah,
leaving
and you
for
can stay
Brazil.
in Brazil and here and in Florida because you own 51 homes and you got multiple streams of income coming in. So, hey, thank you so much for your service. Appreciate that. Good to hear from you tonight. All
All
right,
right.
we like to keep these normally about 30 minutes, and we've already gone 47 minutes. So I want to see if anybody else has any questions or comments before we wrap up tonight.
Yeah,
Anything?
Ellen, if I can, Christopher, you're actually on my team, and I tried texting you. I don't know if it went through or not. I was gonna try and call you on Friday, but I wasn't able to. So I'll try and give you a call tomorrow.
Awesome. All right. Anything in the
Which
chat there that we
which
need to address?
which number do you have, Harlan?
It's
Can
the
you talk
one that
about
you
that in
have
the
in the
chat?
system.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, instead of being on live.
I'll email you tonight with my number.
Okay.
There you
Okay
go.
then.
Okay?
All right. Thank you.
All righty. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Anything before we wrap up? Who's excited about our compensation plan? Let's see that in the chat. Let's throw some reactions there. Yay, yay. Everybody's excited. All right. Love it. Love it. All right, guys. Well, y'all have a blessed evening. We got team training tomorrow at 11:30 Eastern time at daczoom.com. And then no presentation tomorrow night. Will be Tuesday, Wednesday during the day trainings. And then we roll into Friday with the agent update. So mark your questions out. Y'all know you've got my email. If you run into things that aren't covered in the training and you need help, please let us know. Have a blessed evening, everyone. We'll see you next time. Take care.